and welcome back to Bear's Reading Nook. I'm Kara, and today we're actually going to be doing a fun video. So I had this idea, I think a couple weeks ago, and I decided to just go for it. And so what we're going to be doing in this video is reading the entire Cam Jansen series, which has 34 books. And for those who don't know, Cam Jansen is a girl detective who solves mysteries of some sort and has a photographic memory, I believe. And this was a series that I enjoyed when I was younger, and I don't remember how many books in the series I read then, but I'm excited to check them all out and see how they are now. I will be reading all these books in 48 hours. I'm doing 48 hours versus 24 because I need to make sure that I, take care of myself as well as my husband and my dog, and giving myself time to make sure I also don't burn out from reading 34 books in a single day. So this will run from Friday the 21st at 1 p.m. through Sunday the 23rd at 1 p.m. And I'm excited to see how these books are and, yeah, just see if they're as good as I remember. Hey guys, so it's actually 2:30 and I'm just now getting around to starting to read because apparently I forgot that we needed groceries, so I had to pick those up and take care of Hazel. And so basically how this is gonna work is after each book that I finish, I'll come check in with you guys and kind of let you know my thoughts on it and its rating. Since they're so short, it's going to be hard to not talk about them without spoilers, so expect spoilers in this. But other than that, let's get started. Okay, so book 1 is done, and I think this is going to be a 3-star read. It's okay. Not the biggest fan of it, but I'm also not the audience. It is for younger kids. It's definitely a very easy read, but it was predictable. So the basic plot of this one is that Cam Jansen and her friend are at the mall with her friend Eric's family while the mom and twin sisters are getting clothes. Cam and Eric are basically watching the youngest brother, who is like a baby in Howie's family. And while they're sitting waiting on a bench at the mall, the jewelry store nearby ends up getting robbed. And everyone assumes that it's the person that is running out of the jewelry store that robbed the place, and turns out that it wasn't him, although he is technically involved. And so basically Cam Jansen and Eric are trying to figure out who actually did it. And I have a couple issues with this. The first one being that, one, these two characters are 5th grade, so 9-10 years old. They took a baby when they followed the guy that had ran to basically see where he went, because he ended up going to meet up with the people that actually stole the diamonds. They freaking followed him with a baby. Which, no, not cool. Also, the cops are kind of dumb because it's yeah, thanks for helping solve the mystery. You're a hero because we didn't know who it was. And it turns out that the person that had actually stolen the diamonds was this other guy that was in the store, who ended up exiting with his female accomplice, and they looked like a family, so no one suspected anything. So yeah, overall, it's okay, 3 stars. Again, I'm not the audience, so not bad. Next, I believe the second book is on here. I believe I checked it out on ebook, so should be able to read it on my Kindle. So let's see what I think. So I finished book 2. It's about 3:45, so I'm doing okay speed-wise. I wish I was going a little bit faster, but it's fine. So book 2 follows Cam and Eric as they're walking around town looking for things that Eric can photograph for a contest. And while they're out and about, they come across a UFO, and Cam decides that they're going to investigate to see what could possibly have been the UFO. And on their way to do that, they run into a cat who they kind of sort of adopt and name Neptune. And they end up finding a group of 3 siblings who are taking photographs. There are 2 younger siblings who I believe are 12 who have dressed up to kind of look like aliens, and an older 18-year-old brother who is like photographing them for the contest, and they're gonna pass it off that it is one of the younger siblings' work, because there is like a cutoff age for the contest. And so what ends up happening is they get found out. Cam bluffs and says that Eric took a picture of the 2 that were dressed as aliens when they had taken off their masks, and then gives the film to Neptune, who then runs off, and all 3 of the other kids chase them, and in the process of the 18-year-old chasing after them, like with the car, they manage to wreck their own camera, which really sucks. But hey, they can't enter the contest now. And then, of course, you know, the kids that were chasing after Neptune don't find her. Cam and Eric find her and the film, and Eric ends up getting, I think, an honorable mention in the contest. So overall, I like this one better. I'm still trying to figure out what rating it'll be, but I definitely liked it better than the first one. And Neptune may have had something to do with that, but I'm not sure. Okay, so something I've noticed that has been a thing in the first 2 books is that they repeat that Cam Jansen has a photographic memory, that she audibly says click whenever she basically is trying to access like her mind camera, her brain, to get the pictures. And also they have mentioned a thing about her hair. Hello, Hazel. Yeah. They've mentioned a thing about her hair being like really red or something like that, and they mentioned it both times in each book that I've read, and this is within like the first chapter or 2. So that's a little annoying repetition, but again, like, these books came out across like multiple years, so I get that repetition may be needed, especially if a reader is younger and, you know, not an older adult person who is also binge reading these in 48 hours. So yeah, but I'm on to book 3, which I believe I have on audio, and we'll see how that goes. And I finished book 3. Sorry for any noise you hear. Upstairs neighbors can be loud. So book 3 basically follows Cam and Eric as they're at a museum on a field trip, and Cam notices that one of the dinosaur skeletons that they have set up is missing some bones. And so Cam tries to let the tour guide know, and they just kind of brush it off because right before that, when the tour guide was asking if anybody knew about this specific dinosaur that they were looking at, which is supposedly like really obscure or like not as well known, Cam basically was like, I know, and started reciting stuff off from memory, and you know, for whatever reason that just rubbed the tour guide the wrong way, and she wasn't happy about it. So she kind of brushed it off, and so Cam and Eric end up basically after the field trip and they get back to school, they decide that they're gonna go back to the museum, wait until it closes, and then basically see who is stealing the bones. They get found by the security guard and get taken to like the museum director's office, and they say, hey, someone is stealing some dinosaur bones, like they're missing, we don't know what's going on, blah blah. They get brushed off again, and basically like the skeletons are complete, like there's no bones missing, blah blah. And so they're like, okay, whatever, we're just gonna leave, we can't do anything else. And as they're getting ready to leave, they're outside, you know, a milk truck pulls up, and it turns out that they're getting like the milk truck is picking something up. And Cam's like, wait a second, milk is delivered in the morning, not in the afternoon. And they also pick something up, which is weird. And she also realizes that the name of the company is different, and so she basically decides that her and Eric are going to follow the truck and see where it goes. And come to find out that the truck transported bones, and basically they're switching them out for fake ones, and it's we end up finding out that the milkman is an accomplice for the tour guide from earlier when they had the school tour, and it's actually her that took the bones, and her whole thing is that she wants to be able to dig up the bones and kind of like get famous because she found them. But that isn't gonna work, because we learn that after Cam mentioned the thing to the director, he ended up going and looking at the bones anyway, so he would have known that they weren't like actually found, that they were kind of like taken from the museum so that she could find them. Also, not gonna lie, the bad guys are kind of dumb, because I think the options that they gave the kids were, we'll let you go, but you can't tell anyone about this. Or if you try to tell anybody about this, we'll say that we found them in your bike baskets and then tell the museum, which wouldn't work, because you would think that the tour guide would know that if she brought it up to, like if Cam brought up that the bones were missing to the tour guide and she brushed her off, then maybe she would go higher up. And also technically she was still at the museum when Cam like talked to the director. I know that like she was probably getting the bones ready to move, but like she was still technically there, so not sure about that. But that was really dumb, that like they were just like, oh yeah, we'll tell them you stole them. It's like, but she didn't, and that wouldn't work, but I get it. But everything ends up working out, and instead of calling the police, they end up calling the director of the museum, which was a little weird. And like, they basically call the director. He comes to where they are because they had gotten into kind of like a chase on their bicycles with the milk truck trying to track them down after they escaped the house. And they call him, they take him to the house, and then like that's it. Like, they don't call the police, so I guess the guy's gonna, like, the director's gonna call the police afterwards. I don't know. But yeah, so this is a 4-star read, and I think I've decided that book 2 will also be 4 stars. I just really enjoyed them better than the first one. There's nothing wrong with the first one. I just felt like the second and third were less predictable than the first one was. But yeah, so we are on to book 4, which is The Mystery of the Television Dog. Hi, so it's actually been a bit. It is about 9 now, and I just finished this. So basically what happened is the last time I checked in, I was gonna read it, and then I ended up having storage issues on my phone, which is what I'm filming these update clips with. And so between that and making dinner, I'm just now getting around to this. This is, in my opinion, a 3-star, but I also know that I'm not the intended audience. I do think that kids will enjoy this, especially since it involves dogs. So the premise of this one is that Cam, her friend Eric, and Eric's twin sisters are going to a book signing for Poochie, who's like a TV star dog that like supposedly wrote a book, and so like they're going to see him. And basically one of the people in line right in front of Cam and them has a dog, and basically through a series of events the dogs get swapped without the trainer knowing, and basically Cam is trying to prove to the trainer and the owner of the bookstore that the dog that they have in front of them is not in fact Poochie, the TV dog, but another dog. And what ends up happening is the other dog, Cloudy, runs off and starts going home, and so the gang finds out where Poochie is because Cloudy took them home, and that's where the owner is keeping Poochie. But they're able to get Poochie back to the bookstore where his trainer is and where he's supposed to be, and nice happy ending. So I find it hard to believe that like the bookstore owner allowed another dog in there. 1, because it's a bookstore, but 2, because there was a specific dog there, Poochie, for the book signing. And on top of that, they look the same, which if it were me, I wouldn't want them in there in the off chance that like they did get swapped out. On top of that, Cam is not the best, in the sense that like she kind of tends to disregard what Eric, who is kind of the voice of reason, says or wants to do. So like in, I think it was the second one, which was the UFO one, he wanted to go home because it was getting dark. She said no, let's go investigate the UFO thing. In this one, he's like, hey, we should call the police. And she was already like off doing stuff. And to me, that's a little weird, and I'm not happy about that. Also, like, it just, I know that this is a kid's book, but like it just feels like all the adults in here are kind of dumb. Like, the kids have to really try to let people know, like, hey, this isn't the right dog, or this or that. Like, they really have to try to let them know. Also, it's repeating again about her hair being red, even though her hair is orange, but it's called red hair, and her having a photographic memory. It's in all of them. And it sucks. Okay, so it is 9:45, and I just finished book 5. This one was pretty good. The premise of this one is Eric and Cam are on their way to the 5th grade science fair, and Cam, for her project, has a box camera that she made and takes a picture of Eric, and in the background is someone coming out of a store, and they end up following Cam and Eric to the school where the science fair is being held, and they steal Cam's camera, and then Cam and Eric leave the science fair to follow the dude and basically end up going back to the coin store and find out that it's not even open until next week, and basically tell the owner that they think that the store was robbed. And with the help of the owner and 2 police officers, they go to the locksmith place that set up all of the alarms and locks and stuff for the coin place that was robbed, and find out who did it, and arrest him. One weird thing was the 2 police officers came in one car. Eric, Cam, and the owner were in the car, but then they arrested the one dude. And I mean, my math could be wrong, but normally it's 3 people in the back seat, so did they just shove all 4 of them in the back seat? Or am I missing something? Because they dropped Cam, the coin shop owner, and Eric off, and then took the dude to the jail or whatever, to the police station. So he would have had to have been in the car. This one, I will say, was interesting. You did kind of see who the person was, decently early on. And I say see because in one of the pictures it actually shows the dude. But in passing, it was just someone coming out of a store, blah blah blah. So this was definitely more interesting. I'm not sure if I want to give it 3 or 4 stars. I think it may be a 4-star because it was more interesting. But there was one thing that was kind of annoying, which, okay, since it's a science fair, for all of 5th grade, there was one person that Eric did not want to win, and he kept basically saying, as long as so-and-so doesn't win, so-and-so better not win, so glad so-and-so didn't win, and I'm just it's a lot. But yeah, overall, not a bad story. Yeah, I'll let you know possibly when I finish the next one, what I ended up giving the, the 5th one. But I'm leaning towards 4. And now that I'm on to the 6th one, let's see how that goes. And I finished the 6th one. So it's a little after 10:15, so not bad on time. So this one, Cam and Eric are at a hobby show of sorts, and a Babe Ruth baseball is stolen from a display, and Cam and Eric are helping the owner of that baseball find out what happened to it. Turns out that a boy stole it, and they end up finding it, and figuring out where the boy lives through a series of events, because at one point they think he didn't steal it, but really he did. And basically what ends up happening is he stole it and then swapped it out with a regular baseball, so that when Cam and Eric and the security guard at the hobby show that they talked to found him, he didn't have it, and so they didn't think he stole it. And then a little bit later, the kid that stole it got the ball back. And yeah, honestly, this one wasn't bad. Like, I think this is a 4-star for me. I like the idea of like swapping the baseballs out, and I think that was honestly like a good idea. And I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I may stop for tonight. I'm not entirely sure. I am getting a little tired, but the next one is number 7, which is The Mystery of the Circus Clown. But yeah, we'll see if I do that tonight or not. I'm leaning towards no, because I'm getting tired. But yeah, both these I'm saying are 4 stars. So, not bad. Hey, so it's actually kind of been a bit. I didn't finish Cam Jansen in 48 hours. That's how long I was doing it. But I did manage to finish it in like 3.5-ish days is what I'm calling it. And I haven't updated since I finished book 6. So this is just some of what we're talking about. There's also a few others that are audiobook and or ebook that I read that we got to talk about as well. So let's start with number 7. So this one followed Cam, Eric, and their aunt Molly, who went to the circus, and Molly ends up losing her wallet, as do a few other people, and basically they're trying to figure out what happened, who did it, whatnot. And basically Cam realizes that a certain clown that she names the bumping clown was the one that probably stole the wallets, and it turns out that the bumping clown was working with another like clown, and it was kind of like a pickpocket like couple. And you know, I thought that idea was pretty nice. I thought the idea was like pretty nice, kind of for this series so far unique. And so this one for me was a 4-star read. Number 8 was basically the second half of like the film was taken, and this would have been when like film was still in like the like real canisters, it sounded like, and basically the second half of the film that they were watching at the movie theater. And this was, I think, Cam, Eric, her mom and dad, I think, were who was in this one. The film in itself just sounded awful. It was about, like, shoes that started walking off people's feet. But basically what ends up happening is one of the actresses that was in that movie stole the second half of the film because she didn't want people watching it, because she thought she was, like, really bad in that movie. And I thought that was just kind of, like, it was a fine book, nothing like to write home about, so it's a 3. Okay, the next one, oh yes, okay, So the next one is the Carnival. And so basically, Cam and, like, her school in general is putting on, like, a carnival, and Cam and Eric are kind of, like, not security, but they're kind of, like, people that are floating around, and making sure everything is running smoothly, and other students in her class are also, like, running booths. And so one of the booths was supposed to be, like, really hard to win, and these two kids basically keep winning, and they look like different people because they keep putting on different disguises, but basically what's found out is that one of the kids taped a magnet to the bottom of the board, and they had, like, fake dimes that they were using, which would basically, you know, stick to the magnet and they would win everything. I thought that idea was interesting, and I really enjoyed this one, so 4 stars. Yeah. This one was not bad. Okay. I gotta double check his name. Is it Billy? Yes, okay. So, this one sucks. For the sole purpose of Billy. I still gave it 3 stars overall because the story was interesting enough, but Billy as a character sucks. And I can't... If you hear laughing in the background, that's my husband because he's working from home and we share an office. But he knows how much I hate this one. And every time I think of this character and think of Billy, I'm, like, thinking of a specific clip, which I'm gonna try and, like, put up here so you guys get what's going on in my head.
Call you Billy. What's wrong, Billy? Little too real for you, Billy?
But the gist of this one is that monkeys end up being taken from the zoo. And it turns out that the person that took it, kind of had a cart, slash truck that looked like a gardener kind of, setup, and, he put the monkeys in a cage under a tarp, under dirt in the back, and basically that's how he got them out. I mean, it was a fine story, but freaking Billy sucks.
Many a Billy rant was heard this weekend.
Yeah. Okay, so this is... Yes, okay. So next is the 11th one, which is the stolen corn popper. And I thought that the story was overall interesting. Basically, this... they're at, like, a department store of sorts, and every so often people keep getting their bags stolen. And, like, they're looking for the thief, looking for someone with bags, blah, blah. And it turns out that what is actually happening is the thief is taking the bags and basically taking the items and the receipts and going to the, like, return area and getting the money that way. So she's not carrying around a bunch of bags. Which, honestly, is kind of smart if you're gonna do this, but you shouldn't do this. But I enjoyed that idea a lot, and overall this was a 4-star. This is also around the time when I started questioning if basically the time of Cam and Eric doesn't move, but everything else does, because throughout this entire series, they're in the 5th grade, but, like, I don't know if it's just publishing order for these things or what, but there are some where it's, like, towards the end, there was one that was, like, the first day of school when they meet their teacher, Miss Benson, which, they already have that teacher earlier in the series, so I don't know what happened with that, but, like, they're perpetually and forever in the 5th grade, to the point where, like, there were talks of, like, 2 different books with, like, spring or summer or something, and, like, they both mentioned the 5th grade, and I'm just like, how are they still in there? Like, how? But yeah. overall 4-star for this one. I think this is where the aunt really started to get me, because she is so freaking annoying. I don't know how to explain it other than, like, there are certain people that just, like, have to insert themselves in conversations, and they have to say something, even if it, like, holds no value, if that makes any sense. So, like, at different points, she would be like, oh, you know, I do this, like, I work for an airline, or blah, blah, or I've been here, maybe it was here, and stuff like that. So she's annoying because she tries to insert herself in the conversations, but also because, she, like, basically her character is that she doesn't remember anything at all. And so it's like, I went here, or was it this other place, or was it this other place? And it's annoying, and it goes on throughout the entire series. So this one is, basically a girl was on flight 54, and they can't find her. What ends up happening is that, since she doesn't speak English, and only speaks, French, she had a picture of the, like, aunt and uncle she was coming to see and stay with, and, she followed the wrong person. And they end up finding, the aunt and uncle and getting her to the right people, but that's the entire thing. Like, it was okay, it was 3 stars. Nothing to write home about. Okay. So, this one, my dad got a hold of, so I'm gonna let the library know about that. But, this one just felt like a recycled, like, clown wallet type thing. So they are at, like, a fair of sorts, with, I think it's Cam, Eric, and her uncle George and Aunt Katie. And basically, while they're in a haunted house, Aunt Katie's wallet is stolen, and, you know, trying to figure out why. Basically what happened is a guy was, like, hiding behind, like, a curtain in the haunted house, and, basically he was acting like he was a scare and taking the wallets. It was fine. Like, it just felt like a recycled of the, clown one. So, I didn't really like it. 3 stars. Okay, so book number 14 was the Chocolate Fudge Mystery. Basically, this one is like, Cam and Eric are going around, selling chocolate and rice cakes or something else, to, like, a neighborhood because they're raising money for, like, Ride and Read or something like that. And, they stumble upon a house that looks like it's, not in use, but Cam is sure that there is someone there, and it turns out that she is right, and that it's actually, like, a fugitive that someone was helping. So, it was, like, it was fine, but overall, like, how it kind of came about, like, I was kind of bored, so it was just fine. It was a 3-star, which is a theme for most of this. Okay. This one, okay, so this is number 15, which is the Triceratops Pops Mystery. Okay. First thing, they needed to have the, nickname, which is the T-Pops, way sooner, because constantly reading the Triceratops Pops, my brain was just having trouble reading that. I wasn't even reading it out loud. So anyway, I'm just gonna call them T-Pops. Basically, Cam wants the new CD by the T-Pops, and when she goes to the store, the guy working there is like, yeah, I just stocked, like, this amount in this place. She looks throughout the entire store and goes back to the guy, and she's like, I can't find them, like, where are they? And he's like, oh, well, you know, they should be over here. Goes with her. They're gone. And it turns out that the, like, security kind of gate or whatever sensor, is, set off by, like, old VHS tapes. And so this guy had, like, an old VHS tape that he had, borrowed from, like, a movie rental place, like Blockbuster or something. And, he set the sensor off with that, and he had hidden the, T-Pop's CDs in a watermelon, which honestly, to me, was just, like, the most fantastic thing at this point in the series. So, yeah, this was, a 4-star read. I just really enjoyed how that was done. And I thought it was, like, a clever way of shoplifting. Not that you should shoplift. Don't do it. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. So the next one is, I think, audio, ebook, whatever. And it was okay. I think this one was, the aunt, Eric and Cam were waiting in line to get tickets for a T-Pop's concert, and a, like, person dressed up as a ghost, is going around, like, scaring people, and, like, there's a guy that, like, fakes a heart attack, and what ends up happening is that the ghost steals, like, all the money from the, like, ticket box office. And basically you find out that the guy had faked the heart attack, and that, another, like, accomplice was the ghost, and the way that you figure out who it is the dumbest thing. So basically, a guy was dressed up as an older gentleman carrying a bunch of papers around and stuff like that. And he drops them when he, like, fakes the heart attack. Makes sense, you know? What does not make sense is that he had magazines, which the ones that he had were, like, mail specifically to house kind of magazines, and they had his address and his name on there, and that's how they figured it out. Like, how dumb are they? Yeah, the aunt, again, sucks. Mystery was, again, just, like, a repeated robbery type situation, and the bad guys were kind of dumb, so it's average. It's 3 stars. Next is the Scary Snake? Yeah, the Scary Snake Mystery. So, this one, basically, the premise is that Eric and Cam's mom are, like, hanging out and stuff like that, and, Cam's mom was, like, filming, I think, Cam and Eric eating lunch for some odd reason, and ends up catching a video of something else, and then someone ends up stealing her video camera so that they can have the, video of the other thing that she caught, which was, like, a snake escaping from its little bag, and their purpose for getting it is so that they can kind of sell it to a news thing and get a prize for, like, the video. But the thing is, there were other things on the tape, so it was very easy to, you know, prove that it was Cam's mom's tape, and that she had taken it. And also, because he wanted the prize money, the bad guy had to actually give his name and address to get the check. Which, again, dummy. So, 3 stars. Again. Okay. So, next is the catnapping mystery. Basically what happens in this one is Cam, her parents, and Eric are going to a fancy hotel to see Aunt Molly. And basically, while they're there, a lady basically says, "Hey, I never got my bags or my cat, like, they're missing, what's going on?" And it turns out that, someone had dressed up as a bellhop and basically I was like, hey, I'll help you, like, get your bags in, you know, blah, blah. And they ended up, unknown to her, taking that stuff to their car and, you know, their house. Well, the way that Cam figures out that it's not actually someone working at the hotel is because the bellhop uniform was a different color. And they, like, eventually find the guy. I forget how exactly they find him. But they do, and I thought it was interesting that he, you know, dressed up as a bellhop and stuff. I thought that was a weirdly good way to do that kind of thing, and it makes sense, and, like, people aren't always paying attention to colors of uniforms. It just looks like a bellhop, so, you know, you would give your stuff to the bellhop. So I gave this one 4 stars. Okay, so next is the, oh crap, what's it called? It's a dog on a boat story, okay? Basically, what you need to know is that there's a very rich lady who is determined to take her dog on a boat, and the, like, rules specifically state that dogs are not allowed on the boat. Well, pets in general, animals, are not allowed on the boat. And this one, we are following Cam, Eric, Eric's mom, and Eric's mom's friend. Oh boy! Okay, so first off, the lady with the dog feels like the kind of stereotypical rich entitled kind of character, and she ends up bringing the dog on the boat anyway, and it's dumb. And basically at one point the dog gets taken, and the whole reason for that is that they have jewels on the collar. 1, why would you put jewels on a dog collar? And 2, your dog, you know, could end up in the water off the boat, which is why they didn't want you bringing it. But yeah, so all of that happens. Also, the friend of Eric's mom, I believe her name is Mabel Trent, I think. So I found her really annoying, and I don't know fully why. I have a few ideas. One was that to me, she came off like she was supposed to be an adult, like Mrs. Shelton, which is Eric's mom, her age. And she, to me, read more of a child, like younger than Cam and Eric, who are in the 5th grade young, than an adult. Also, this felt kind of reused, the story did, because this comes right after the cat that gets stolen for money. Then it's a dog stolen for the money jewel collar, basically. Still got a 3-star because overall it was still an average story for me. It was fine. Okay, next we have 20, which was, what was this one? Oh, okay. So this one follows Cam, Eric, the Cam's parents, and then Cam's grandparents. So basically there is a surprise party for, I believe, her parents, and basically at one point they get a call from the grandparents basically saying, hey, our luggage is stolen, like, you know, we need help. So they, like, go to the airport and are basically getting them home, trying to, like, help them figure out where their luggage is. And basically this story felt different because it felt more like you were given some clues, but you had to be paying more attention. And I kind of liked this one and enjoyed how it was done, because it wasn't like in your face, like about everything. And so I gave this one 4 stars. Next is the school play mystery. So basically the gist of this one is that Cam's school is putting on a play about Abraham Lincoln for some reason. And Cam is kind of like helping the teacher out by watching the kids that are like collecting the tickets and the money and stuff like that, and also helping where she needs backstage, like moving things around and whatnot for the different like parts of the play. And so at one point the kids are done collecting the money because there's no more people trying to get in to the play, and so they go to count the money, and there is only like $4 in there, and so they have to figure out what happened because they had way more money than that. And it turns out that the shoe boxes that the money was being collected in, it got switched out for another shoebox. Now that normally would be fine. However, the kid that took it was stupid because he was wearing those shoes, and they are bright blue shoes. Like, how dumb you gotta be? I get that it's a kid's book. I do. But at the same time, I feel like that would happen in real life. So, I felt like it was predictable. Like, I could see the, like, box being switched out. Like, it just sounded like it was gonna be what happened, and it was. Overall, 3 stars. It was fine. Okay, the first day of school. Okay, so this is the one that I mentioned earlier, that basically this is like the first look at Mrs. Benson, or Miss Benson. The first look at Miss Benson, but the thing is, like, in 9, they're doing the carnival for Miss Benson. So they already actually know her. So I don't know what happened, but like, I don't know why. Anyway, so this one is, basically what happens is on the way to school, the bus kind of is stuck in traffic, and they have to figure out why, and it ends up being that there's like some sort of accident up ahead, and so they have to walk to school. And it turns out that the car that like had caused the traffic and, you know, was part of the accident was in fact Miss Benson's. And basically the book is kind of like trying to clear Miss Benson's name, and it turns out that the way that Cam does that is through a like a dry cleaning ticket, which, I mean, interesting, but there wasn't anything outstanding about this. It was fine. It's a 3-star. Okay. Number 23. So, I think, if I haven't said this already, I got up to the 22nd book in the original 48 hours. So I got a good bit, but not all of them. We still have, like, 12 to go. Buckle in. Okay, so, 23. This one, honestly, I really did not like this one. First off, this one follows Mr. Day, who is the gym teacher. He sucks. Like, so bad in so many ways. Like, he's the gym teacher, okay? And he wants the gym to be quiet when they play. There's no way that that can actually happen. Like, gyms are loud in general. They, like, echo, but also people actually have to talk when they're playing games. Like, that's not possible. And he just sucks for other reasons as well that I don't want to talk about him. But the whole point of this one is that he lost his trophy, and they're trying to find it. It's assumed that it's stolen, you know, whatever. And so they're working to figure out when it was taken and all that stuff. They figure out that it was taken when it was being, like, his office was being painted, because apparently his office, like, his cabinet that it was in doesn't have a back for some reason. And basically what we end up learning is that the trophy wasn't stolen. He had won the trophy in a contest against another teacher, and she wanted to see how it looked in her room and wrote a note to him basically saying, I borrowed your trophy, I'll give it back to you soon. And he didn't see it because his desk was covered in papers. This one legit wasn't even a mystery. It sucked. It's a 2-star. Okay, so the Snowy Day Mystery. This one basically follows Cam, kind of Danny, who I absolutely hate, and Eric as they are working to figure out who took 3 computers from the computer room and how. And basically it is found out that there are 2 people that stole them. One was inside helping, handing the stuff to a person outside, and then, they left in a car because they're not gonna lug 3 computers outside, especially in the snow. And they figure out who took it because Cam had taken a mental picture earlier in the day and captured an image of the car, and I believe the license plate of that car that was coming from the back, which is the teacher's area. And all the teachers would have been there way earlier, and so that would be the logical choice of the car that, took the stuff. Now let's talk about Danny. Danny is the kind of character that thinks he's funny and tries to be, but is very much not, and the other characters in this book know it. Multiple times have pointed out, you're not funny. And so this book is full of him trying to do jokes, and they just suck so bad. And it tanked my enjoyment of this book so much that this is a 1-star, guys. This is 1-star. I hated it. Hated it. The jokes are so bad. Okay, next is the Valentine baby mystery. So this one, basically Aunt Molly loses her purse in the hospital when they went to basically go wait for Cam's mom to have her baby, which there was no prior, inkling or anything about the fact that her mom was pregnant, so that's out of left field. But that's also how I know that time outside of Cam's time is actually still moving. Because, like I said, Cam is, forever gonna be in the 5th grade, but everyone else is gonna age. I don't get it. I don't understand this, but okay. Anyway, so basically, Aunt Molly's purse is stolen, and it turns out that it was someone impersonating a doctor that they had actually talked to, and he, for whatever reason, wanted her car, and so he actually managed to get her keys. He left her purse and his white coat in a stairwell, and he drove off in her car. I don't think they actually specify why he did it, other than I think it may have been just someone that did auto theft. Possibly there had been a couple others in the past few days or weeks or whatever. But yeah, this story was mostly about Cam's mom having twins, which we never hear about in the rest of the books. So that's the thing. This was it was fine. 3 stars. Okay, so this one. This is the Secret Service mystery. Basically, what happens with this one is the governor comes to this school and, like, basically he's doing, like, some sort of speech at the, like, new library that they have. And at some point, during that, there's, like, a loud bang, and people think it's a gunshot. Turns out it was a book that was dropped on the ground. And Cam then goes on to try and explain to people that the book would not drop that way to make that loud noise, that someone would have had to push it in a specific way. And then we find out, as the story goes on, that there was someone dressed in, like, kind of Secret Service-y, like, black, dark clothes that pushed this couple that was also there that had potentially contributed money to the library, and that person pushed them down and stole the lady's pearl necklace. It was fine. I thought that, like, the book was kind of cool, but, like, Like, basically, it seemed cool at the beginning, or, like, it was fine at the beginning, and then it just kind of, like, it didn't do it for me. So, 3 stars on that one. Oh boy, okay. So this one is the Mystery Writer Mystery. This one basically is, like, think Scholastic Book Fair, like, when you're little kid, at a school gym or something. And there was a specific author that was there to sign books and stuff like that. And while people are at the, like, book fair, there are a couple of cars that are stolen out of the parking lot, and we're trying to figure out what happened to them and, like, why they were stolen and how. But overall, like, this felt more about, like, the author that was there to sign things than actually the mystery. It kind of felt lame, to be quite honest. But definitely, there was definitely nostalgia about the book fair because I freaking loved those things. But overall, this is a 2-star read. They do end up finding the cars in someone's freaking, like, garage. Like, if you're gonna steal a car, don't put it in your own garage, dude. So this one follows Cam and Eric, and the mystery is basically that the money that the school has been raising for a skylight is switched out for bricks, and they have to figure out who did it and, you know, what happened to them. So it turns out that what they did was the bakery delivery person brought in, like, bread for the, like, special meal for lunch, but not regular, like, sandwich bread. And so Cam, who had seen the sandwich bread bags earlier, realized that the baker used the bags to bring in some bricks and switch those out for, like, the giant, like, amount of rolls of dimes that they had, which was all the money that they had collected, which was, like, it was interesting, and I thought that was clever, so this got a 4-star for me. Next is the basketball mystery. Basically, this one follows it follows Cam and Eric, who are at a basketball game for a coach who, after this game, is going to retire, and he's given 2 signed basketballs, one from the current players that he has, and one from the governor, who, like, it has a bunch of people that signed it who were past players. And the one with all the past players ends up getting stolen. And it turns out that it ended up being deflated and put in like a tiny duffel bag by someone that was like trying to pass off that he was part of the basketball team that they played, but he isn't. And like, the story was fine. I thought that it was clever how he deflated the ball, but overall I wasn't into it. It was 2 stars, honestly. Okay, next, the wedding cake mystery. So this one follows Cam, Eric, and a few other like of their friends who are going to a senior center to do like a kind of talent show of sorts for the seniors, and there was a baker there and a photographer there who were needing to go to a wedding, and they go to leave. Couldn't find their keys, find them in the lock for the back part of like a box truck kind of thing, and open it up, and the wedding cake that they were taking along with all the other like pastries and cookies and stuff is gone. I kind of figured this one out like very early, like as they were driving up to the like house or building that they were going to. So I knew that the cake was stolen. I think I had read the back on this one. And I knew the cake was stolen, and so going into that with that knowledge, I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna switch it and put it in the other truck. Which, the cake was put in the other truck. That's the mystery. And I feel like this is one specifically that, like, if kids don't guess the other ones, I feel like this is one that they like could potentially guess rather easily, in my opinion. And so for that reason, it's a 2-star. I did not like it. The graduation mystery. So this one follows Cam and Eric, who are at they're at Eric's father's graduation from college, and they're there with like his mom, siblings, and also grandfather, I believe. And so basically the mystery of this one is that the kid that was sitting behind Eric and his family accidentally grabbed the bag that had the grandpa's gift, and the grandpa ended up grabbing the bag of the kids' toys, and so they have to figure out who the boy was there like to support, who was graduating basically. And yeah, this was like just rather dumb, and I didn't like it. It was just it didn't feel like there was actually a mystery, so this one is like 2 stars. Okay, we are almost done, guys. This is 32. The Millionaire Mystery. So this one I actually really enjoyed. This one follows Cam and Eric, who are at like a fancy person's house, like elevator in their house kind of fancy, who I think were raising money like for the fire department. And basically what ends up happening is while they're in the elevator, the like owner of the home, her pearl necklace is taken, and so there's a limited amount of people that could have taken it, and Cam has to figure out who did it and why. And what ends up happening is Cam realizes everyone who was in the elevator, like when they were told to go to the library for like questioning kind of stuff and like to show bags, everyone but one single person brought with them what they had in the elevator. Only one person did not. And so she realizes it's that person and goes to where she saw him last and finds the pearl necklace. I thought that was really clever, and I thought it was clever like how they did it, because it was a cramped elevator. There was like 10 people in this elevator. And I thought it was a clever hiding spot, and honestly, I really enjoyed this. 4 stars. Okay, so Spaghetti Max Mystery. Very weird title. Basically, Spaghetti Max is one of Cam's dad's friends, and it was a nickname that he was given because he was very skinny. And so they are at the airport. Cam, Eric, and Cam's dad are at the airport to pick up Spaghetti Max. And while they're there, they are approached by another person there. And basically, they are like trying to find their daughter, and they ask Cam and Eric and Mr. Jansen if they have seen his daughter. And they haven't, and basically what ends up happening is the 3 of them try and help him look. And so the reason why I like this one is not only was it engaging, but it actually makes logical sense. Okay, so what we end up finding out is that the daughter was told to wait while the dad went to the bathroom. While the dad was in the bathroom, the daughter realized that she had to go to the bathroom. So she goes in, dad comes out, sees that she's not there, and basically goes to try and find her because he thinks that she's gone. Well, she comes out and she doesn't know where he is. And so she ends up going to the ice cream shop because she's reading things how she wants them to say, like how she wants them to be. So like instead of men, she read menu. So instead of the ice cream place, which was I think Polly's Ice Cream, she read police, which her dad had told her to go to the police if she ever got lost. So since it was so logical, of course, yes, this is my favorite one. 5 stars. Like, this was really good. It was really well done. And I actually really enjoyed this one. And the last book. Finally. Okay, so this one follows Cam, Eric, I believe just Mr. Jansen. Yeah, I think it's just her dad. And Aunt Molly, who are at a joke house. And so the whole point of this one, the mystery in this one, is that there is a silver plate that is given to the winner of the like joke contest, as well as the ability to come compete on like the Joke Masters show. And I called it early on that the waiter that Cam and her family had was going to be the person that stole the plate that was there. I was right. Like, I guessed it early on. He had made a comment about him being a comedian but can't compete because he works at the joke house. And, okay, not gonna lie, because of Danny earlier in the series, like, reading jokes in this series specifically, I can't. And on top of that, Aunt Molly is forgetful. So she is seen as funny in this because she forgets her jokes. I'm sorry, no. I did not have fun with this. This is 3 stars. And with that, Cam Jansen series is done. And Woo! I hate myself for this. Oh.
Woo!
Hazel, your butt's kind of hanging off. Okay. But yeah, it's done. I'm glad it's finally done. And if I ever do something like this again, either stop me or... Oh, hi. Hello. Or I'm going to do it over a longer period of time because 48 hours, obviously, as you saw, was not enough. It took me 3.5 days to read 34 books that are like somewhere between 55 and 60 pages. But it's done. I hope you enjoy this because it's a hot mess, but I had fun and my brain totally wasn't fried after reading 12 of these in one day. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!